there were shows that I watched. There was a show called Big Blue Marble, which you might, because you're from the Midwest. So Big Blue Marble, Sesame Street, Electric Company, all of those kind of programs I just really enjoyed them so much. And I just felt like if there was ever a way that I could do something like make content that had the kind of same impact that those kind of shows had on me, I would love to do that. I had no idea what that meant. I didn't even know how shows were made, but it was just something that I always had in the back of my mind that that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I remember when I was growing up seeing the opening of Sesame Street and asking my mom, "Oh, where is that?" And she's like, "It's New York City." I was like, I want to live in New York City. So I did a kind of a roundabout way before I finally landed where I was meant to be. But it was just always something that I'd always imagined myself doing and really hoped for. And I'm very fortunate and very blessed to work with amazing people and to be able to make the kind of content that, again, spoke to me when I was my 9-year-old self.
And we're so lucky that you are. So, Makita, I want to go over to you. You did an interview for Apple Tree, and you mentioned that growing up, you rarely saw young Black characters and that you longed to see someone who looked like you. And you vowed that you would and could make a difference. So can you talk a little bit about your journey?
Absolutely. And I just have to say, I love that you really do your research. I love that, okay?
Oh, we go deep. We go deep. We go deep.
No, so interestingly, like Kay, I was a young child and I loved watching TV. I watched a lot of Sesame Street as well, and that had a big impact on me. And but I think had an equally big impact was a show called Romper Room. And
yes.
I will tell you why, because at the end of the show, they would take that magic mirror and they would look out to see all of their friends who were at play with them. And every time I would remember the host saying, I see Chris and I see Bob and I see Sue and I see Kathy, and I'm like, please say Makita, please say Makita. And they didn't say Makita that day. And so I would come back the next day. I remember being with my cousins, like arguing over who would sit in the Big Bird chair. And I would get in the chair and I would scoot to the left or scoot to the right and get closer to the screen, thinking if I got closer, maybe they would know I was watching. And day after day, week after week, month after month, they never said Makita. And it was as I got older that I realized there was likely no one in the back room writing Makita into the script, right? There was likely no one in production saying, "Oh, that's a good name. Let's put Makita in that particular episode." But what it meant for me is I realized, one, there's power behind the scenes. Also, it wasn't just about hearing my name. It was more about I wanted them to see me, right? I wanted them to know, and I wanted to know that I